World News Report today, September 25th, 2020, folks. It's about 8 p.m. Central here in the U.S. God bless you and yours no matter where you are in the world, folks. Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and ring that bell for critical future updates. Well, we're being bombarded by space weather, as we told you we may, and it's going to see a huge uptick in about 6 hours' time. We have been hit by a level 5 KP index storm. We've had a total of 6 hours of solar storms today and yesterday. We saw 4 hours on the 23rd. Folks, it is ramping up and we're facing extremely powerful solar winds over the next 72 hours. Now, USGS is basically down, but we're going to use some other reporting services to find out what's going on around the continent and the world. ACE has given us some very strange data, folks. We have the missing time like we always do for about 6.5, 7 hours, all the way through 6:30 UTC time. Temperatures are varying on the alert mark here and really are nothing critical at this point. Space weather, when it reappeared, was up at 500 kilometers per second. It actually spiked up near 600 kilometers per second. And they have actually said that it went down. But again, we have just entered missing time, UTC, as usual. This always goes missing at 2300 UTC time. All instruments down. LASCO C3 has been turned off for 3 days, so we cannot see CME solar flare ejections currently. Density is averaging between 1 and about 7 centimeters cubed. I believe it to be much higher. This connection to the solar wind seen in Phi looks like it's bottoming, which means complete solar wind connection to the sun here. In the same instance, I believe that this is actually meant to be down here instead of up here, and this is even more so of a connection. When the beta, the red line, actually rises above the 0, you're looking at solar storms, which we have seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6, 7, 8, 9, at least 10, 11 times so far. When it touches or crosses over the white line, you're seeing extreme solar storms like you did when we saw our level 5 KP index right about 1700 UTC time. You can see the crossovers right here, folks. It's exactly what that is. The time corresponds perfectly. So the data is skewed, but it is actually usable at this period. The USGS is reporting just about nothing. So we're going to use volcanoesearthquakes.com and take a look at what we have. We have a 5.3 in the Scotia Sea at 12.6 kilometers, a 5.1 near the South Sandwich Island region. This is all really part of Antarctica, moving up from this continent and these major fault plate lines here. Now, folks, we have 46 volcanoes currently erupting, and really probably more than that. We have numerous more volcanoes that have been shown in quote-unquote unrest, as seen in yellow. Volcanoes that are erupting harder, seen in red. The ones in orange are supposedly showing activity or have a warning of eruption associated with them. We've had a large 5.1 over here in India at only 10 kilometers. In Japan, we've also seen a 5.1. Now, I believe all these are downgraded. Let's see. USGS 5.1. This is New Zealand, a 5.0. So we'll continue, folks. We've got a 5.0 in Guam here. It's at 181 kilometers. Let's take a look. The BMKG reports it, and that's going to have to be the Bogota service. Let's see what we have here. A 5.0 in Banda Sea, Indonesia. Now we're going to see that this entire area of Indonesia and the Philippines becomes just swamped with quakes. We have several plate boundaries here, several subduction zones. It's a very dangerous area, very active area. Look at all these volcanoes that have come up in unrest, Take a look at yesterday's report and you'll see extra volcanoes in unrest here and here near the Philippines. We do also have a eruption here at Yasur volcano and Vanuatu. Down here north of New Zealand, we have a 5.0 that struck at 33 kilometers. I believe we covered this 5.0 in Guam. That leaves the 5.0. We did see the Banda Sea in Indonesia as well, and a 5.1 in India. Let's add some more earthquakes and see what's happening. Now you can see Central America around the volcanic activity has started to swarm with the 4.0 enlargers. You're seeing 4.3, 4.2, 4.1. You're not going to be able to grab them all. They're all at 25 kilometers, 13 kilometers, 11 kilometers, 4.4 at 8 kilometers. Down here in Peru, another 4.5 at 118 kilometers, a 4.5 here in Peru at 103 kilometers. We're always seeing earthquakes in between these two active volcanic areas. We see Chile hit with a 4.0. Again, that's where the largest quake ever recorded happened. And we're going to see this entire area fill up. I feel positive. Now, on top of this volcano over here, we're seeing a 4.5 at 48 kilometers in Mayotte. North of the larger quake, a 4.4 in China here. Of course, that's Chinese information, and we have to take it with a grain of salt. A 4.5 in Xinjiang, China. We've got another 4.4 in Vietnam. He's going forever, folks. A 4.4 in Japan. Up here on top of this actual volcano erupting, a 4.5, 10 kilometers in Russia, off the coast of Russia. We're going to have more activity here than usual. We have more quakes as usual, a 4.9, probably downgraded. Let's see who's... No USGS, so just a source. They're using other people's information. A 4.9 here in the Alaska Peninsula on top of this volcano that they keep making disappear and then go into unrest. Down here north of New Zealand, what do you have? A 4.2, 192 kilometers, and a 4.4 at 310 kilometers. As you can see, the Philippines area here, 4.3, 4.3, 4.4, 4.2. Over here in Indonesia, a 4.4, a 4.7 in Indonesia. Over here where the big quake hit, a 4.2, 73 kilometers, a 4.3. Very, very active. I think we covered this 4.5 in May. Yes, we did. All right, let's continue and add some more, okay? Now, I did want to show you, make sure that we went over these Peru. We did. All right. Wow, folks. Look at the swarm in Puerto Rico. They're all 3-point-somethings right there in the Caribbean. They're actually in Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic, you name it. That entire fault plate is very, very dangerous right now. There is a subduction zone right north of that here, and these volcanoes are active. We saw that with the PM 2.5 emissions and the nitrous oxide emissions coming out of those volcanoes. You can no longer see Central America, which is part of North America. But luckily, as you can see over here, volcanoes really don't like to go across the U.S. or Canadian borders. They know the border laws. They just disappear, folks. Nothing in Alaska, nothing in Canada, nothing in the United States. Go figure. We're going to speed this up so we can take a look at the U.S. USGS 3.1 here. We've got a quake up here. Let's see. A 3.7 hit Iceland. There's some quakes here, of course, in Greece. In Greece, a 3.6. Over here in Spain, a 3.3. A bunch happening in Iran and Turkey, as always. 3.0, 3.3, 3.0. Here's Georgia, Iraq. Let's see. Ooh, Egypt right there on that plate. Right there where we talked about it going, where the little kink is, a 3.8. Get ready for a big one there. A swarm here around this quake, 3.2, 4.5. More swarms here. Look at Indonesia filling up around the volcanoes, folks. Look at north of New Zealand, also swarming hard. We're going to add them all, and then we're going into the USGS. Wow. All I can say is wow. Look at Europe. We're not going to even try to grab them. Grab a few of these strange ones. A 2.0 in Finland. A 2.0 in Estonia. Croatia, 2.1. See if we can get that. A 1.8 in Austria. This is all going to be France here, folks. This is going to be Portugal, Italy, and Greece. Or Albania, Italy, and Greece are just going off. You can hardly see Greece anymore. The same is true with Iraq and Turkey, as we always see here, folks. It's crazy. Now, this quake bothers me, that 3.8 right there. They say it's in Egypt, but you know what's located right there, Israel. Notice Indonesia and the Philippines. Now, please notice New Zealand. You can't see it anymore. Look at Central America. Now, let's go into the U.S. Look at the swarm in Puerto Rico and see what's happening there as quickly as we can. We're going to make this quick. We've just had a earthquake, erupt on the volcano at 2.1, but it's above ground. 1.2 kilometers above ground, folks. This is a New Madrid in Martin, Missouri, at 9.3 kilometers, a small one. Fracking earthquakes in Oklahoma. You can see they're fairly shallow. A large fracking earthquake over here in White City, New Mexico, where we're doing heavy fracking. Swarm up here in Alaska, on top of what? All these volcanoes that have erupted 3 times in the last 30 years each. They're right on top. This is going to be, Anchorage is going off. They're allowing, this is some kind of ice quake. I've always wondered what those are. Blasting going on here. Blasting going on here. Royal City, y'all tell me what that is. Out there at the subduction zone, Cascadia subduction zone, another one, Cascadia. Another one, Cascadia area. There's a big quake that hit right here at 3.7, Hot Springs, California. Let's zoom in and take a look at some other stuff, and we'll be done for the day. All right, we've just had a quake in this area. This is Hot Springs, California. Obviously, this is a volcano. That's what causes the hot springs. Look at the depth, 3.3 kilometers, 13 kilometers. There's a bunch of them here, folks. 3.3 kilometers is very shallow. 2.4 kilometers. Blasting here. Shouldn't be allowing blasting. Minya going off, folks. Look at Minya. Quick zoom in. See what we have. All right. 58 earthquakes. Let's get this on the map here. 44 earthquakes in Minya alone. That's crazy, folks. All right. I'm going to finish it up here. All the burnt earth. You can see the patterns. They're showing earthquakes. We've got one way over here in Utah. Yellowstone's lighting up. 5.6 kilometers. Very shallow. Several here. A 4.4. A 0.3 over here in southern Idaho, right by Craters of the Moon here. Very active area. Snake River Volcanic Range, a 2.6 in Idaho right there as well, 10 kilometers. Another 1.6. All right, we see that this activity is all where the San Andreas breaks off from the Walker Lane fault line here. When you put the faults on, obviously, Walker Lane is not shown on this map. For whatever reason, they are not going to show you what's going on. It's a huge fault line, the biggest one in America, right through here. This is San Andreas. You can see how active it is. I'm worried about Cascadia right now. Everybody needs to keep an eye on Minya and this area down here. This is going to be a very scary area near Hot Springs, which, of course, these are volcanic cones everywhere. And all the way up Walker Lane and all the way up San Andreas are the same things, guys. God bless you all. I want you to share the video. I appreciate your subbing, appreciate your viewing. I want to thank my subscribers that gave donations today to help pay for the expenses for the channel. God bless all of you.